A long time ago in the land of Edita, a town of warriors and giants, Edita shared boundaries with two other towns called Elu and Adi. The town of Edita are known for mystical powers. They had a king called Aja. Aja had powers beyond his age, powers beyond his imagination. It was powers that he got from his ancestors, from his forefathers, which he used whenever there was a war. He was a known warrior who never lost a fight. One day, Aja called the people of his kingdom. Everyone assembled at the town square and waited for the king to arrive. As the people waited for the arrival of the mighty mystical king, the drummers came together to entertain the people. There were sounds of music, beautiful colors, women dancing, children dancing, and young men were displaying different types of talents. It was beautiful to behold, and the king loved it. Suddenly, a bird perched on one of many trees in the village square. The bird was different. It had beautiful rainbow colors fluttering its feathers and wings. It looked so majestic, like nothing anyone has ever seen. It had feathers, and sometimes it looks like it didn't have any feathers. It was so majestic that everyone was in awe of this bird. The elders knew there was something wrong. There was disquiet amongst the elders. And so the music stopped because the bird has drowned out the music. And so the elders wondered, what could this be? What could the bird be telling us? Are the gods trying to tell us something? Are the gods trying to pass a message? They wondered. And they looked at each other. They couldn't understand. However, no one could say for sure what kind of message the bird had delivered. As the elders wondered, what kind of message had the bird just passed on? They began to ponder, and they began to worry, and they became concerned. What could the bird be saying? However, the party must go on. As soon as the bird flew away, the queen arrived at the town square. She was in her full regalia. She looked beautiful. She had extraordinary powers. She was the kingdom's queen. Then the king stood before the people and declared, I am your king. I inherited this throne from my father. I have conquered many towns. I am a warrior. And tomorrow my throne shall be cleansed by the gods of our forefathers. The people all roared. Unknown to the people what the king was about to say, they were still in jubilation and in celebration mood. They loved the king after all. He has always been a warrior. He is a great warrior who had conquered so many neighboring towns. He, of course, is their king and will always be their king. Then the king declared, "Tomorrow every first female child in this kingdom shall be sacrificed for my throne." Terrified and troubled, the people begged the king for the king to have mercy. They gave him alternatives, but the king said, "The gods have spoken." The drums of music, flutes of Oja, cascaded to fill the air. The king has delivered his message from the gods, and so shall it be. The people went home, not knowing what to do. They risked the wrath of the gods if they refused to bring out their first daughters, and also risked the mighty, powerful king who would spare no one to keep his throne. So at night, the elders who were at the village square and who saw that beautiful bird now remembered. Could that be the message that the bird wanted to pass on to us? They wondered, and so they decided to gather themselves to think about what to do and to find a solution to the demands of the king. So they asked the elders amongst themselves to consult the gods. And so he did. He heard from the gods. It wasn't a good news. He kept what he heard to himself and told the other elders to join him in praying to the gods of the land. They brought out kola nuts, hot drinks, bitter colors, alligator pepper, and blessed the land. The elders of Edita made a request to the God of the land. They requested that the God of Edita fight for them. They have no one but him. They went down the memory lane, reminding the gods of Edita how faithful they have been, how it has always fought for them, and has never let them down. At midnight, the elders, while gathering, offering praise to the gods of the land, they heard the cry of the same bird that they had during their celebration. But this time, it was a different kind of cry. It cried like a child. Not having any answers, the elders went home, grieving. They were in deep sorrow. They were disappointed. They were in despair. There was a feeling of utter hopelessness. It was bleak because by tomorrow, their daughters will be slaughtered. Come the morning of the appointed day, the town crier was out in the town, announcing that everyone should gather at the town square. The people knew what was about to happen. There was fear in the land, and no one had predicted what was about to happen. But everybody knew that Edita was about to change forever, and this change wasn't for good. Then the king and the queen arrived. They were greeted with great silence. He has never seen anything like it before. The king was disheartened, but he wanted to please the queen. He was reluctant to go ahead in ordering the killings of the first daughters of Editha, but he couldn't go back on his word to the queen. When the king hesitated to order the killings of the first daughters of Editha, the queen pulled him aside and told him, "You either do it or I will do it myself." Not wanting to be seen as a weak king, he mounted the throne to declare. However, it wasn't enough. They wanted absolute control of the kingdom of Editha, and the king had sold his soul. As the king mounted the throne to make an order, there was a change in the air. The beautiful bright morning had turned gray and cloudy. It began to rain. It rained heavily, and in a flash, there was lightning and thunderstorm. Just before the king could make his pronouncement, there was a mighty heavy thunderstrike that struck the king and his family, killing the king, the queen, and the queen's mother. There was a vacancy in the kingdom because the God had not spoken.